Okay, so good morning. So we're discussing on the reciprocating compressors, and today we'll continue with the last topic, that is the multi-stage compression. So when we will go for multi-stage compression, the reason for this actually, whenever we want to get a higher pressure, so the first condition is whenever we want higher pressure, okay, that's one condition. So what we will try to do actually, so we will go for this multi-stage compression whenever we want very high pressure, and we have some space constraints. Space constraints in the sense actually, uh, if you go for a single stage reciprocating compressor, we will be having a bigger size of the compressor. Okay, bigger size of the compressor. That we call it as maybe the space constraints. So what we can do, this can be avoided if you go for multi-stage compression. So when you go for multi-stage compression, we can accommodate, we can get the higher pressure using smaller compressor sizes. So the next second thing is actually whenever you want higher pressures, and we have some restrictions on the size, restrictions on the size and space. Okay, and also see, you know that if I want to get a higher pressure actually, if the size increases, size of the compressor increases, a single stage compressor, if it increases, there we end up with what is called as so balancing problems. Okay, we end up with balancing problems. That is because the compressor will be running at very high speed. Okay, so roughly if you speak, maybe they will be running at around 5,000 rpm, or sometimes they will be running at around 20,000 rpm, depending upon your requirement. Okay, they will be running at very high speeds, so we will be end up with a balancing problem. But if you go for this kind of a multi-staging, we may, what we can avoid such problems. Okay, these are some of the things. We want higher pressure, which is, if I tell P2 is the higher pressure, much greater than your P1 inlet pressure. Okay, that's one thing. And second thing, we have some restrictions on the size and space requirement at any given point, and we end up with balancing problems. So these are some major three concerns when I have such things actually. We will try to go for multi-staging. So what exactly is a multi-staging? So just look at the schematic what I have put here. So just I'm trying to show one multi-staging. I can have maybe n number of stages. So in between what will have is actually, so in between one stage or other stage I can have an intercooler. That's it. So what we try to do here is actually, if suppose this is a two stage, see, a two stage compressor. So what I am showing here is a two-stage compressor. What will happen here actually, the air is sucked from the atmosphere. Okay, atmosphere at some pressure and volume. Okay, now it goes to this is a LP cylinder, this is also a reciprocating compressor. So this is also a reciprocating compressor. Why we call it as a low pressure means it will compress to the fluid to a slightly higher pressure. Okay, what is it actually? If you want to understand that, let's come back to this particular PV diagram. That means the point at 1 is the entry. So this is the entry to your compressor, and then it go to a point. So this is the point where, see, this is where your LP compressor will work. Low pressure compressor will compress from 1 to maybe some intermediate point I. Okay, now what will happen? See, this is the output. So this, if suppose P1 is the this thing, so it is compressed to an intermediate pressure Pi. Okay, intermediate pressure Pi, and the corresponding temperature will be, so this is T1, and the corresponding temperature will be Ti. So which is very high. So what I'm going to do actually, I will take it to an intercooler. What is this intercooler? This is an heat exchanger. So heat exchanger is a device which is used to transfer heat from one fluid to another fluid. So what is just like having a fan. So just like having a fan, what I'm going to do here actually, so as the air goes out of your low pressure cylinder and it enters the intercooler here, okay, and it comes out. So what I'm going to do actually, I'm going to pass a cooling water. Okay, I'm going to pass the water at some temperature and it comes out at, so what is going to do, it is going to cool the air or it's going to take away the heat from the air. So it's a heat exchanger. So that what will happen, you are at the temperature what I have actually, if I call this as Ti dash, which is less than your Ti, which may be nearer to your T1. Okay, let me go by some numbers. Say fluid enters at the low pressure compressor at a temperature of, let me assume some 25 degrees Celsius. So it is compressed to a temperature of 50 degrees. Intermediate temperature, let it be 50 degrees. Now it is cooled to a temperature of 30 degrees, which may be nearer to T1, or it may be cooled to 25 also, if the intercooling is perfect. Okay, that's why intercooling is perfect. I'm going to get back my lower temperature. So what is the advantage of intercooling? See, the fluid enters at the temperature T1 or Ti dash and intermediate pressure. So even though pressure is high, my coolant, the cooled temperature of the air is at an intermediate temperature or Ti dash or nearer to the inlet temperature. So this will save me. So this will help me compressing the fluid to a higher pressure and temperature, so that I will be able to, so this is the thing what I'm going to do. I'll be following this path. If I try to follow this particular path, what I'm going to do actually, so this is your high pressure compressor. I'll be able to reach a higher point in T2. I'll be able to compress it to higher pressure if it is at a lower temperature in the high pressure cylinder. Okay, this will be at a lower temperature and higher pressure. So here what will happen? It will enter here and it is compressed to a high pressure, which I call it as P2 and T2. That's a discharge at higher pressure. This is how a two-stage compressor will work. Okay, so fluid enters at some temperature and pressure. It is compressed to an intermediate temperature and pressure. Then in an intercooler, it is cooled to a temperature which may be equivalent to its inlet temperature or somewhere the temperature which is nearer to that. Then it enters the high pressure compressor. It is compressed to a higher pressure and temperature. So now this T2, it would have been very high if there would have not been an intercooling device used. The T2 would have been very, very high, and this could have damaged the components of your compressor. So that's one of the reasons why we go for a cooling, intercooling. So intercooler, if it is perfect, I'll be getting back to my inlet temperature. If it is maybe not a perfect intercooler, okay, I may be getting a temperature which may be slightly higher than your inlet temperature. Okay, so this is about your how exactly that intercooling or how the multi-staging will happen. So if I have three stages, what will happen? I will have, so first LP1, we call it as a LP cylinder, then intermediate cylinder, then we'll go for high pressure cylinder. So in between I will be having two intercoolers I'll be having. Okay, one intercooler between LP cylinder and intermediate cylinder, and one more intercooler between an intermediate cylinder and an HP cylinder. So that we call it as a three stage. So same process I can apply for n number of stages, if it is 4 stage or 5 stage, whatever it may be. So here I am trying to show you the PV diagram. Okay, PV diagram for multi-staging. PV diagram for multi-stage. Let's try to understand this. Let's try to understand the two stage first, then we'll go for more number of stages, 5 stage or whatever it may be. Okay, to the right hand side I have the 5 stages, to the left hand side I have the 2 stages. Now, as I told, the fluid will enter the air enters the compressor at the point 1 and it comes out of the first stage at the intermediate point I, then it enters the, see, this is the, see what I am trying to hatch something. Let me use, okay, I am trying to show this. So what will happen if it is there is an intercooling? What will happen? Intercooling. If it is an intercooling is there, then the path followed will be this path. Okay, it's going to be, see what will happen if there is a slight increase in the decrease in the temperature, the corresponding volume also will decrease. See, look at this. The corresponding volume also will decrease. Okay, that means, and then it will be compressed from this particular path, it will go to this point. It will go to this particular point. What is it actually? See, what is compressor? Compressor is the, what type of device is a compressor? Compressor is a work absorbing device. So we should always think of reducing the amount of work, okay, which is given to the compressor. I should be able to do more work. But in case of a turbine, what we do? We need to get more, extract more amount of work. So exactly compressor and turbine, they are exactly opposite to it. So here I need to supply less amount of work. If I'm supplying 10 kilowatts of work to the compressor, if I'm able to get the same job done by supplying 9 kilowatts work, actually 9 kilowatts of work, I'm saving 1 kilowatt of work. So that is the work saved. See, what is this work saved? This is work saved due to intercooling. This is the work saved due to intercooling. So this amount of work saving, what is the percentage, all those things depends on what is the capacity, or what is the ability of intercooling, how perfect is your intercooling. Okay, then the fluid will come out of this particular compressor. So I've given some, it enters at some 1 bar, maybe intermediate pressure some 3 bar, then it's going at 8 bar. So otherwise, if I want to go for directly a single stage from 1 to 8 bar, the PV diagram would have been much bigger. The size of the compressor would have been much bigger, and there is no question of saving in the work. So one advantage of going for multi-staging is I'll be able to save a good amount of work. Say some 8 to 10% of work. It has been proved experimentally, some 8 to 10% of work if it's a 2-stage or 3-stage. If I go for multi-staging, it has, the number can go up to around 20 to 25% of the work. Okay. Now look at the 5-stage. I'm just showing a 5-stage compressor. So this is a single stage. Okay. I want to compress from 1 bar to maybe something like 30 bar. Say 1 bar to 30 bar. So what I will do actually, so the fluid will enter at the first stage at 1, then this is my intermediate point. Okay, if I call this as 2, okay, then there is an interstage 3, then 4, then 5, then 6. Say this is 30 bar. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, look at this. I will try to make it big. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now what will happen? What is the path it's going to follow? This is the path it's going to follow. Okay, it's going to follow this path if there is an intercooling. If there is no intercooling, simply I am going to use only the stages. It is going to follow this path. It's going to follow this path. So what is this actually? I am trying to show you. This is the work saved. See, this is the amount of work saved if I try to go for an intercooling. Whatever I am trying to show in the hatches, no, this is mainly because of intercooling. Now you people can try to understand that what is the purpose of this intercooling? What is the advantage of intercooling? If there is an intercooling between the stages of compression, then intermediate temperatures can be brought to its initial entry temperature of that particular stage. So intermediate temperature, if I'm able to bring down the temperature, I'll be able to do more amount of compression. I'll be able to reach a particular thing. So overall, if you look at it actually, so this is the work absorbed. See, if you try to look at, this is the work requirement as reduced. Look at this. See, this is the work in a 5-stage compression. So if you take a 2-stage compression, this is the work. I'm just trying to show you the sketches that's all actually. So now this is the work requirement. So I'm trying to save a good amount of work by multi-staging. Okay. Now we try to understand. So there are some advantages. What are the advantages? We'll try to look into. Once we try to derive the expression, all those things and all, we'll try to look into what are the advantages of multi-stage compression. The only disadvantage, what we can expect, or what we are looking at the multi-stage compression is actually, if I go for intercooling, the compressor will become so expensive. Okay, only the cost is the bigger cost. I think bigger, maybe we can call it as maybe a disadvantage if we go for multi-staging. Otherwise, we have full of advantages if we go for multi-staging. That's the only disadvantage. Okay, with the cost. Now let us try to get some mathematical expressions for this multi-stage compression. Then we'll try to look into the advantages and disadvantages. Okay, expression. Let's try to do it for 2 stages, and the same rule can be applied for n number of stages or n number of stages. Okay, let me do that. Expression for work done. Expression for work done in a 2-stage multi-stage compressor. 2-stage compressor, that is a multi-stage compressor. Okay. So already I have shown you the PV diagram. Okay. So let me take the same PV diagram, this same PV diagram. Let me try to use the same thing. Okay. The same PV diagram. Okay. Something is there in the copying. Let me write it. It's not an issue at all. Okay. Let me draw it. It's not an issue. So PV diagram. This is my pressure. This is my volume. Okay. We are going by first stage. This is the point 1. I'll go to the first stage. Okay. Then there is a saving in a work due to intercooling. Then I will try to follow this particular path, a curved path, because it's a isentropic compression. Then I'll go to this particular point. Then this is my next point. This is with a clearance. Okay, this is with a clearance. This is what you're going to, this is the path it's going to follow. Suppose it would have followed a path without intercooling, then I would have followed this particular path. Okay, I would have followed this particular path. So then this is the amount of work I would have done more. This is the work saved due to intercooling. Okay, this is the work saved due to intercooling. Okay, so if I go to 1, 2, 2, 3, let me call this as 4. Okay, so this is the what we call it as a multi-stage compression. Now, if you try to look at actually, so if I call this as P3, so this is my P3, so this is what I have my pressure P2, and this is what I have P1, so this is my V1, okay, so intermediate points I can have, so 1, 2, 3, 4 and all. So if I go with this as 2, let me call this as 2, okay, so this will be my corresponding point V2, so 3, so do not worry about it, 4, then 5, so if I call this as 4 dash, this as 2 dash, let it go with actually. So now what is the total work done for a 2-stage? Okay, the net work done, is given by, for a 2-stage is given by, so let me call it as W net. So work done in the first stage plus work done in the second stage. Okay, what is your first stage? So first stage is I am trying to go. So go from the P1 to P2. This is my first stage. And this is my second stage going from P2 to P3. So first stage is from P1 to P2 and second stage is from P2 to P3. So that's how it is. So if I try to write the already if I call this as equation number 1, so already we have derived the expression for work done. Okay, so we can write, so the corresponding work done, already we have derived, is given by, for the first stage actually, it is W1 is equal to n by n minus 1 P1 V1. Already we have derived it. I am going to use the same expression. It is P2 by P1 whole to the power of n minus 1 by n minus 1. So I am going to call this as equation number 2. Okay. Now, what is the work done for the second stage? This will be n by n minus 1. Okay. Instead of P2, so if I call this as V2 dash, okay, this is V2 dash. So P2 V2 dash into P3 by P2 whole to the power of n minus 1 by n minus 1. So I call this as equation number 3. Okay. Now substitute this 2 and 3 in equation 1. Okay. So therefore, substituting equation 2 and 3 in equation 1, what we are going to get? So W net is equal to n by n minus 1 into P1 V1 into P2 by P1 whole to the power of n minus 1 by n minus 1, okay, plus, so let me write it a little down, okay, so n minus 1 by n by n minus 1 into P2 V2 dash, okay, into P3 by P2 whole to the power of n minus 1 by n minus 1. So this is the thing. Now, for a perfect intercooling, okay, if I go for a perfect intercooling, what is it actually? Okay, it's a perfect intercooling means, if I substitute, let me call this as equation number 4. What is perfect intercooling? That means it's following a isothermal process. Okay, so if it is a perfect intercooling for a perfect intercooling, what it is actually? My T2 dash temperature or V2 dash temperature should be equal to your T2 or T1. So sorry, T1. So for a perfect intercooling, that means it is isothermal. A perfect intercooling means it's isothermal. I can use, so it will be, the equation will be P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2 dash. This is only for a perfect intercooling. Okay. So therefore, equation 4 can be written as, so therefore, equation 4, I can write W net is equal to n by n minus 1. So it is P1 V1, okay, into P2 by P1 whole to the power of n minus 1 by n minus 1 plus n by n minus 1. I am going to replace P2 V2 dash by P1 V1. So P1 V1 into P3 by P2 whole to the power of n minus 1 by n minus 1. So now if you look at it, what is common here? N by n minus 1, P1 V1 is common. Okay. Then I can add this particular thing. What will happen? P2 by P1 whole to the power of n minus 1 plus P3 by P2 whole to the power of n minus 1. So I have minus 1, minus 1. So it becomes minus 2. So this equation I can write it as the net work done is equal to n by n minus 1 into P1 V1, okay, into P2 by P1 whole to the power of n minus 1 by n plus P3 by P2 whole to the power of n minus 1 by n minus 1 minus 1, that is minus 1 minus 1, it is minus 2. So I am going to call this as equation number 5. So this is the work done expression for a two-stage compression. Now, see, I have directly use this equation. So I have directly used this equation. But in the examination, if they ask you, you have to derive it, you have to derive for one of the stage, then you have to start using it. Because I don't want to repeat, because we don't want to do the same thing again and again. So directly, I'm taking that particular equation and trying to use it. Okay, depending upon the marks. So if it is 8 marks or 10 marks, you should derive it for the one stage, then use it for first stage or second stage. Or they ask for 3 stages, then it will be first stage, second stage, third stage. You just add it. Okay. Suppose if there are I number of stages, okay, for I number of stages. I don't want to use n because n is already a polytropic this thing. Suppose if there are I number of stages in compression. That is if it is a 3 stage or 4 stage or 5 stage. So I can write a very generalized expression. So net work done will be equal to, so n by n minus 1 into P1 V1 into, so it is P2 by P1 whole to the power of n minus 1 by n plus P3 by P2 whole to the power of n minus 1 by n plus P4 by P3 whole to the power of n minus n by n. So plus dot dot dot, that is I can go up to P of I plus 1 by Pi whole to the power of n minus 1 by n minus I. How many number of stages? If it is I stages means I should subtract I. So why this is particular thing, this formula? This is for a 2 stage, it was minus 2. So here it is I stages, I am writing it as minus. So I am trying to write a generalized equation. Okay, let me call this as equation number C. So if there are 3 stages, actually I should just use P2 by P1, P3 by P2, P4 by P3. If it is a 4 stages, then I have to go up to P4 by P5 by P4 minus 4. So depending upon the number of stages, I can have a generalized net work done expression. Okay, now if you look at this expression actually, if you look at this expression, so what is it actually? See, I need to find an intermediate pressure. Look at this particular thing. So there is an intermediate pressure. If I go for this particular 5-stage compression, I have an intermediate pressure which is coming in between each and every stage. So what will be the optimum value of intermediate pressure so that I'll be able to get maybe I'll be able to get a work done, minimum work done. Okay, what will be the intermediate pressure? Okay, if I call this as C, if I come to this particular thing, this stage, so 1 to 2, 2 to 3. So what should be the value of P2? I am looking at what should be the value of P2 for a 2-stage compression. Okay, what will be the value of 2? So if I do it for a 2-stage, the same rule can be applied for multi-stages also. Okay, so that's why what we'll do is expression for or optimum value of the intermediate pressure. Okay, optimum value of the intermediate pressure for the 2-stage compression. To do that, what I'm going to do actually, I'm going to take this work done expression and differentiate with respect to P2 and equate it to 0. Okay, differentiate this expression and equate it to 0 and try to get the value for your intermediate pressure. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay. So optimum value of intermediate pressure. Optimum value of intermediate pressure. Optimum value of intermediate pressure for a two-stage compressor. A two-stage compressor. Let me do it for a two-stage. The same rule can be applied for multi-stage. Okay, what we are going to do? I am going to do this particular thing. That is, I am going to take this W net and differentiate with respect to my intermediate pressure P2 and equate it to 0. Okay, that is, I am going to substitute now d by dP2. What is your work done? Actually, just now we derived it. Just we will use for two stage. That is equation number 5. I am going to use it. That is n by n minus 1, n by n minus 1 into P1 V1, okay, into P2 by P1 whole to the power of n minus 1 by n plus P3 by P2 whole to the power of n minus 1 by n minus 2, okay, then I am going to equate it to 0. So now if you look at it actually, what is left out? So everything else will say all the constant, just simply cancel out. Only this quantity is left out. Rest all will become automatically, it will come below the 0. I can write it as this equation, I can simplify to d by dP2, it's equal to P2 by P1 whole to the power of n minus 1 by n plus P3 by P2 whole to the power of n minus 1 by n equated to 0. Now differentiate it. So the first differentiation, so this will be n minus 1 by n. So the first one is n minus 1 by n, okay. Then this will be, so P1 to the power of, so I have n minus 1. So this will become 1 minus n by n into P2 to the power of minus 1 by n. I'm trying to directly, I'm trying to tell. So this will be P2 to the power of, so I'll be, so it will be minus 1, so it will be minus 1 by n. And the other side, this will be P3 to the power of n minus 1 by 1 as it is, P2 to the power of 1 minus 2n by n. So this is what I'm going to get it and equate it to 0. So this is P1 into to the power of 1 minus 1 by n into P2 to the power of minus 1 by n, okay, plus, so P3 to the power of n minus 1 by n as it is. Then this will be, so this is actually multiplication. It's a dot means P to the power of 1 minus 2n by n is equal to 0. Now what I'm going to do actually, I will try to take this to the right hand side. So what I have is actually, if you try to take P2 on one side and P1 on one side and P3 on one side, okay. So I have, so if I try to, let me do this actually, let's try to take P2. So this, I can write it as n minus 1 by n into, so P1 to the power of 1 minus n by n into P2 to the power of minus 1 by n, okay, is equal to, so this is P2 to the power of minus n by n, or I can take it to the top right as equal to P3 n minus 1 by n into, so here also I have n minus 1, no? Here also, so here also I have n minus 1, I forgot actually. Here also I have n minus 1, I forgot to write it. So here also I have n minus 1 by n, okay, it's equal to 0. So n minus 1 will cancel on either side, okay. So I have P2 to the power of 1 minus 2n by n into n minus 1 by n. So this n minus 1 will just cancel on either side. So then I can write P2 to the power of, okay, then I can write P2 to the power of 2. So P2, I will take P2 on either side. So P2 to one side I am going to take. So this is P2. P2 I am going to take it to the left hand side. So P2 minus 1 by n. So if I take it to this side, it will be minus 1 minus 2n by n is equal to, so I have P1, if I take it to the other side, this will become n minus 1 by n multiplied by P3 to the power of n minus 1 by n. Okay. Now if I take 2 outside, this will be if I take n common, this will become P into 2 into n minus 1 by n, which is equal to P1 to the power of n minus 1 by n into P3 to the power of n minus 1 by n. So now this n minus 1 by n, this n minus 1 by n, then they cancel out, because that's the thing. So I'm going to get P square is equal to P1 into P3, or your P2 is equal to square root of P1 into P3. So let me call that as equation number, okay, if you call this as equation number 1, so let me call this as equation number 2. So this is the optimum pressure. So this is the pressure, what we call, or I can tell, so simply I can write it as, this is nothing but P2 by P1 is equal to P3 by P2. So this is the thing. That means the pressure ratio per stage. See, what is this actually? This is nothing but pressure ratio per stage. Pressure ratio per stage, pressure ratio, or pressure ratio per stage. So for an optimum value of compression, the pressure ratio should be, intermediate pressure ratio should be same. Okay, so P2 by P1 is equal to P3 by P2. If I go for multi-staging, what it will happen? P2 by P1 is equal to P3 by P2 is equal to P4 by P3 is equal to P5 by P4. That means all my intermediate pressures should be same. Then only I'll be able to get an optimum value or minimum work done. So this is the condition. So what I'm going to do actually, if I try to substitute for P2, okay, if I try to substitute for this particular thing in my work done, I'll be getting the minimum work done. So that will be the expression for the minimum work done. So if there are, so this is for the optimal condition. If I try to write it here, so this is for optimal condition. So for optimal condition, your P2 is equal to square root of P1 into P3, or P2 by P1 is equal to P3 by P2. So if there are, for I number of stages, for I number of stages, if I have I number of stages, then what will happen to your this thing? Then your optimum value will be P2 by P1 is equal to P3 by P2 is equal to P4 by P3 is equal to P5 by P4. I can go like this up to a value P of I plus 1 by P of I. Okay, this will sustain if I have I number of stages. If I have a 4 stage, it will be P2 by P1 is equal to P3 by P2, P3 by P2 is equal to P4 by P3 is equal to P5 by P4. If there are 3 stages, I have to stop at P4 by P3. Now, I have the value. See, what is this value? P2 is equal to square root of P1 into, so square root of P1 into P3. If I substitute for this particular value for P2 in any of the equation, okay, substitute for P2. So in equation, so what we call work done equation, yeah, in work done equation, so 5. If I substitute for P2 in equation 5, I'll be getting what is called as minimum work done. Okay, that will be the expression for minimum work done. Substitute for P2. So substitute for, if I substitute for this particular thing in the equation 5, whatever the work done I am going to get, that will be the work done for the minimum work done. So for multi-staging, that is the minimum work done. Okay. Substituting for P2 from equation. So P2 from P2 for the optimum value, for the optimum condition in the work done expression, for the optimum condition in the work done expression, to get the expression for minimum work done, to get the expression for minimum work done for compression. If I do that, I'll be getting the minimum work done for this particular compression. Let's try to do that. So what we'll do, we'll try to go and take that expression. So we'll write that. So W minimum, we call that as W minimum is equal to, okay, we'll write that expression, which is N by N minus 1 into P1 V1 into, so I have P2 by P1. So well, for P2 I will write it as root of P1 into P3. Okay, I'll write it as root of P1 into P3. Okay, or I can substitute for P3 so that all this particular thing will become simpler. So whatever the way you want, you can substitute it. You can substitute for P2 or you can substitute for P3. So whatever the way, so P2 by P1 is equal to, so P3 by P2 is equal to P1. So what I'm going to do actually, P2 by P1 is equal to N minus 1 by N plus, so I have P3 by P2, I will substitute as P2 by P1 into N minus 1 by N minus 2. So what happened to your expression now? So your expression is actually, so I have 2 P2 by P1. So this will be, simply I will just write W minimum is equal to, so how many times this P2 by P1 is getting repeated? It is 2 times. I will take this 2 outside. So if I try to take this 2 outside, so this becomes a common. So this will be 2 into N by N minus 1, N by N minus 1 into P1 V1 into P2 by P1 whole to the power of N minus 1 by N minus 1. So I can call that as maybe equation number 5. So what has happened actually? Say for a n number of stages, for a 2 stage, it is 2 into N by N minus 1. So what is it actually? What is this particular thing? This is simply work done in a single stage. So just multiply by 2 for the same this thing. I am trying to get the double the work. So minimum work done is given by N by N minus 1 into P1 V1 into P2 by P1 whole to the power of N minus 1 by N minus 1. So if I try to calculate the work done for the first stage, just multiply by the number of stages, that is the minimum work. So that will be the minimum work. So if there are I number of stages, okay, for high number of stages, what will happen? For I number of stages. So if there is 3 stage or 4 stage, what will happen to this expression? I can write it as W minimum is equal to I into N by N minus 1 into P1 V1, okay, to the power of, this is P2 by P1 whole to the power of N minus 1 by N. Okay, this is N minus 1 by N. Sorry, here I had 2 actually. So we had put 2 here. Okay, this is I into N minus your 1. Okay, here I have forgot to put 2. Okay, this is because what will happen, no? You are substituting your P2 as actually P1 into P3 to the power of 1 by 2. So it's a square root of it. So that's why I'll be getting the 2. Okay, so I'll be getting the 2 actually. So if I substitute for P2 as P1 into P3 to the power of 1 upon 2, so this will, I'm going to get it actually. For a 2-stage compression, it will become 2 by 2 into n by n minus 1 into P1 V1 into your P2 by P1 whole to the power of n minus 1. N minus 1 by 2n. So if it is for 3 stages, it will become 3n. If it is 4 stages, it will become 4n. That's it. So this will be your, so let me call this as equation number 6. So this will be your expression for multi-stage compression. So minimum work done. So this is my minimum work done for n number of stages. So n number of stages, if there are 4 stages, I can go up to P5 by P4. If there are 5 stages, I can go up to P6 by P5. So like this, I'll be able to